What's going on, Action Army?
What's happening, guys? Welcome to the show. Welcome to the official Action Army show.
Welcome to the most important hour of your life this week. If you're not watching this show, you're probably a Jackass or a Lions Den fan.
Yeah, guys, it's basically a fucking call to action. Just kidding. It's exactly what it is, okay? This is the intro to Call to Action. The single most important piece of content you're going to ingest in the next 7 minutes.
If you love Action Army and you love Ben and Drew, then this is the place to be. And if you don't love us, well, then fuck you.
Go buy a suit, get it fitted, get the pants tailored so the length is just right and the break of your pants looks fantastic, get a bottle of Jameson, and get on fucking board. Peace out.
What's up, assholes? Welcome back to the Call to Action podcast. I'm James.
I'm Nat, and full disclosure, I am watching football, so I'm a little distracted. I apologize in advance. I really need to drink and have a good day. So.
And hey, I won't be too mad because I didn't take any notes this week, so I'm just in the fucking dark. And, you know, we did miss last week, so now 5 matches to cover. Great. Let's see. Let's start with, I should actually have the matches open. I am so good at this. The first match that we had last week was Cinemaniacs versus Franchise Force. And I'm a bit of a traitor because despite the shirt I'm wearing and the podcast that I'm hosting, I have a new favorite team.
What?
I mean, who else dances like Matt Nost or commits to a costume like William Bibbiani?
I don't think anybody, honestly, can dance like Matt Nost. That's...
and as much as we used to shit on Emma, and okay, so I guess we can get into the match a bit. In the beginning, she was just sort of like passe about it, like, I have these people, whatever. It's nice to have a champ, but I also have the Shire Wolves, so I don't give a shit. And at the end of the match, she's like, I love these guys. So when the person defending the literal fucking champion loves their new team, you know something's going right. This isn't like an amazing. It's like we're gonna see it later when we get into the Odd Couple again, like we did before. But just this clash of story, and then you remember why they're put together in the first place. And like they had like an amazing entrance. I'm just loving the nostalgia kick. We're gonna see it also later with Inking in the Brain. I love Cinemaniacs so much.
Yeah, I like them too. Mostly because of bits, but they're a really good team. Like I think Nost is really underrated as a player, and I think they just mesh well. Like their personalities and everything. Nost has that kind of like dry humor and is kind of over the top, and I think that really complements each other. I am looking forward to watching their next match.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because the reason they complement each other is because they're so different. It's not even like oh, they sort of get along like Ben and Andrew. It's more of just like they are such fucking polar opposites. Everything they do just writes itself.
At least the great moments too, like Matt Nost dancing in the entrance. That was good. Probably the best moment of the tournament for me.
Okay, yeah. I'm like scrubbing through the matches as we speak. I am that ill prepared. And in my defense, I am recording again later tonight. But yeah, I think Bibbiani got a perfect first round, which is amazing. Nost, I think got 6. Don't quote me on that. Hello. Minus 9. Oh no, he only got 4 points. Oh. And okay, let's just get into this now. Ethan Irwin. How do you feel about the whole, like he was with Janine, and then he switched to a new partner, and then someone who people thought were going to win the whole tournament just lost in the first round?
Yeah, I mean, I think Ethan Irwin had some bad luck with his partner. I mean, Sabina's not a terrible player, but
she did pretty well in the free for all. So it's not like going in. It's like they are honestly a little underrated because of how little time she's seen, and the fact that Ethan Irwin didn't even make it to the title shot.
Yeah. But yeah, I think Ethan Irwin's a top caliber competitor. He's only missed like a few questions throughout his entire run.
Yeah. I know he missed one in his first match. I think he only missed the 5 in his Andraco match. And there's someone else in the middle there I totally forgot about.
Yeah, probably. But yeah, I think he could have had a more competitive match and had a partner that was better suited for him. But I mean, they did pretty well. But Cinemaniacs were just played a better game. That's just how it goes.
Yeah. And okay, actually I'm gonna pull up the actual bracket too. It does worry me seeing Nost's performance because Bibiani getting a perfect first round honestly isn't that surprising. But Nost is like really inconsistent and it makes me worry about the future, especially because again, my new favorite team, whoever wins between them and who's the boss next, I'm gonna be rooting for the rest of the tournaments. Like, it's not even a question. The fuck was I gonna do?
I have no idea. Are you gonna say for whoever wins the next match all the way?
Yeah, I just have brackets open just in case we get there. Yeah, and okay, so round 2, Cinemaniacs spin Spielberg. How do you think that was going to turn out?
I don't remember how that went actually, but yeah. Could you please help me? Please remind me how that went because
I believe I mean, I know they did really well. They went from a 13 to a 27, I think.
Yeah, so that's pretty good.
13-25. So that's 13-25. That's 12 points out of a possible 12 points. Unless I'm doing my math wrong or I missed something in the middle there, they got a perfect second round.
This was Cinemaniacs?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
and then Franchise Force got 6 points in Fantasy Sci-Fi with Cinemaniacs stealing 2, putting them in a 10-point difference, which has never been conquered before.
Still haven't.
Yeah. So. And this just goes to show like we're gonna get into it later with another match, but I feel this tournament has been horribly imbalanced just in how many great competitors have been knocked out in the first round.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Because like I think any other day, and any other opponent, Franchise Force could have won their first match.
They did a lot better.
They got a pretty screwy second round, and they went up against the current singles champion and a former teams champion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
don't get to be champions good at the game, and I think a lot of it has to do with knowledge, but also a lot of it has to do with luck, and they just got a bad draw the first round. So,
yeah. Is there anything else you want to add to this match?
Not really.
So, how do you see the next match going between Cinemaniacs and Who's the Boss?
I mean, we're the Call to Action podcast, so you know where my loyalties lie. I'm gonna root for Who's the Boss, and I name I can pull it up.
Yeah, like I know. Again, we're going to get into it later, but I feel like despite everyone saying, "Oh, this is the best match of the tournament so far," the next one very well could be the best match of the tournament so far. Because you have 6 very loud personalities, all just gonna be clashing against each other. Most of them with a pretty strong history, and 2 of the highest scoring matches this tournament so far.
Mm-hmm.
I think it honestly comes down to the 5-pointer, unless Who's the Boss gets opponent's choice. And no shame to Ben or Riley, but they both have weaknesses. Riley, the most glaring one because of the ring rust, but to be honest, have any. Unless there's like a wheel set that just says 3rd round questions. So as long as they spin something they want, it's gonna be probably the tightest match.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would usually say that the most important round is round 2 because that can go either way. But with Bibiani, I think it actually comes down around 3, and I think he needs to have like a good lead going into that, or I think who's the boss is going to pull it off.
And then whoever wins that match wins the whole tournament.
Exactly. Right.
Up next, we have, again, this is legitimately probably the best match of the tournament. I would say inarguably,
I agree.
just because of the personalities we have on hand, is Take the Cannoli versus the Self-Righteous Brothers.
Yeah, so this one broke my bracket.
Oh, what little faith you have in Brianne Chandler.
I picked the Self-Righteous Brothers to go all the way to the finals and losing to Who's the Boss. So for them,
and again, this is another case of they just got fucked in matchups because they actually, unless I'm mistaken, they have the second highest points of all the teams. And yes, there have been a lot of TKO, so it's hard to say who would have really done it.
Mm-hmm.
But 31 points is still the highest, and they were only beaten by tying the team point record.
Yeah, 31 points is usually a winning score. So, and I think they're a really good team. Like Whitney Seibold is completely overlooked. I think he's one of the best competitors that they have, and Huck, that's how you say his name. He's really good too. So yeah, he had a lot of hype going in, and I think he lived up to it.
Well, did you think about it like this? There are, just in theory, minus extra points, whatever, 16 possible points in the first round, 12 in the second round, and 10 in the third round. That's a total of 38 points.
Yeah,
they got 35 and 31. It's
insane.
I honestly, I don't think they're gonna win, but if Cinemaniacs do end up winning, I'd probably be okay with Critically Acclaimed just splitting forever because of how phenomenally Self-Righteous Brothers performed. Plus, we're getting twice as many super elaborate entrances.
Yeah, I think Bibbs brought up a good point on the Facebook group where he said that both him and Whitney had a perfect round 1, and could you imagine those two together? They just had like really crummy luck the past few matches they've had.
Undoubtedly, if they didn't lose too late to the party at the tournament last year, they would be team champions. I have no doubt in that.
Yeah, they're just fountains of knowledge.
Yeah,
just had really
because I mean we're going to get into it, or we're going to do it. They got into it on the rundown this week. Just talking stats wise, Levine had a career average of 76%. And then McWeeny isn't very impressive in singles. They worked together for whatever reason, but I think up against Critically Acclaimed, they would have lost.
I think so too.
Yeah, and Patriots, we saw in their Iron Man match, they're not most impressive in overall knowledge.
I have some thoughts on the Patriots. They're not like the most knowledgeable team, not the best team, but they know how to play. That's why I think they're considered not the best team though. Yeah, okay, I hate the Patriots too, but
yeah, and I don't have a lot to say about this one. I think I think this was the match where they McWeeny also had a perfect first round, unless I'm mistaken.
I think so. That sounds right.
Because I know one of the matches we're covering, there were 2 perfect first rounds because they had to write on the whiteboards to get the point. Probably. I will say though, I'm loving just this vibe of Brianne's like, I want to do something like a crazy entrance. And McWeenie's just like, no, I'm not doing it. So he comes out in just a fucking plaid shirt, like, oh yeah, he's in costume, don't worry about it.
My man's character.
Meanwhile, Brianne Chandler is Zoya the Destroyer, an amazing character that I absolutely adore.
Yeah, I love it. But yeah, I really love these two together. I think Drew McWeeny needs a partner that's also a showman because he goes in and does trivia. He needs someone to push him and bring the entertainment aspect. I think Sam Levine did that really well, and there's no bigger showman than Brianne.
Yeah. And I'm not sure if we talked about it on the podcast because I know I was very opinionated about those two last season, but I was not a fan of Drew McWeeny until he brought in the whole actual Godfather angle that they just lost for whatever reason. I wasn't a fan.
Well, he kind of had the Godfather thing in his first match, but he never really did anything with it. He just came out and did trivia.
It was only in the stingers and whatever, the little pre-recorded segments. And like I said, a showman is what makes me love his personality. And
Yeah.
Sam Levine, and now I think Brian Chandler is probably his best partner in theory, not in like game wise, but just in just having a good time.
Yeah. I mean, Drew McWeeny is at his best when he's having fun. We've seen that with Sam Levine.
Yeah.
I think Brian can bring it out.
And I'm not a big horror guy, but what did you think of the Self-Righteous Brothers entrance?
I thought it was awesome. I think Whitney picked up some things from Bibbs and how to do an elaborate entrance.
Well, that's the funny thing. I think just from watching this, Bibbs is probably, or Whitney's probably the more creative of them. Because I mean,
Really?
if you look at Whitney's entrance, it's just music and a dance, whereas Whitney's just like, I want to be like Hellraiser. What's more dramatic?
Yeah, that's a good point. I never thought of that. Whitney has some creative streak, you know.
So if we get to the finals where it's Cinemaniacs or shit, no, they lost. Wait, damn it. If we get somewhere in the future, Cinemaniacs versus Self-Righteous Brothers, I'm going to lose my shit at the possibilities of the entrances.
That would be one great match. Not just because the match is long, but also the entrances and the interviews and everything.
Yeah. What did you think of the? I think this is the match. The 5-pointer.
What was it again?
Unless I'm mistaken about it, where it's like, what famous director directed every kind of fucking film in existence? Enrico Bravo.
I can't really remember how that went, but I remember that being kind of causing kind of an uproar in the
I
community.
know our little Action Army chat just fucking blew up about it, but I wouldn't have gotten it anyways.
I would.
Because I don't get the whole hullabaloo behind it, but apparently it's a big deal.
Yeah, I guess it is. I'm not much of a film guy, like, so I didn't get it, but I guess it was a big deal.
Not much of a film guy.
Well, when we did our top 5 last 5, my number 1 movie was Life Itself. So I mean,
Those were all in theaters, though. If we did my top 5 last 5, it'd be like one I saw in theaters, and then all these are just watching this fucking laptop. It could be worse. You want to move on to the next match?
yeah,
All right. We have Mr. KO Killer, whatever the fuck his name is, Mike Kalinowski, and the Viper Chance Ellison as in Corruption versus Inky and the Brain. Both teams, I would argue, probably have the best music of any of them so far. Unless I'm forgetting something. I like the Odd Couples one, but it's like, eh. But either way, what do you think of this match?
this was a lot closer than I thought it was going to be. Especially with all the hype that Chance had around him.
Yeah. No, it's like Chance did amazing. I think it got 7 points in the first round, which
awesome. But I think this match played out exactly the way it needed to be to keep it close. Because if Devon hadn't spun Will Smith and Chance hadn't spun Matthew McConaughey, I think this would have been a blowout. But yeah, I don't think they quite lived up to the hype yet. But I think Corruption played really smart when they hit McConaughey. They went to multiple choice, but they didn't know it. They didn't take random guess. They talked to each other. I think it was kind of a little bit of a rough start because I expected them to dominate. I think they can get their act together by the next match.
Yeah, it is tough because, like I say, I've seen people putting them above Founding Fathers, who they're facing next.
Mm-hmm.
Which we can say all we want about Chance Ellison. He's going to be in the singles tournament now. He's gotten the waiver, so he's facing. I think he's facing actually Ethan Irwin.
Yeah, he's fighting Irwin.
Yeah, but still, 7 points in his first game ever. I don't think many competitors are up there with him. I think only one I remember doing that well in the first time is Bibiani and Andreyko. One's a champion, one fought him for the champion. So that's incredibly high stakes to me. And then you have Kalinowski, who the last time he was in like a legitimate singles match, he was KO'd.
That's right.
And so I don't think this team can go very far if only one person is carrying.
Well,
I'm still a big fan of Mike Kalinowski versus probably like quietly one of my more favorite teams in this league, the Kingsmen. And they had to separate them because Jack wasn't available, even though now he was. Okay, why the hell isn't Shaq in this tournament?
It's me. I mean,
Because
he
Devon
was
had
there.
yeah, whatever. But you couldn't just keep the Kingsman, or maybe actually, let's just look here to see if we can have anything really fun. Honestly, I would have preferred if you just like took Janine and put her with Devon, and if the other team you could have Walton, whatever the fuck his name is, and Rachel Silvestrini or Jack Hind. But you just took him out, but he was still there as a manager. I'm a big fan of Jack Hind.
I love him.
Yeah.
I think we're both admins on the Kingsman fan page.
And I'm an admin on the Collider Live fan page, which he appeared on, and he was great. Also, join the Collider Live fan page. It's gonna go somewhere once I learn what to do with my adminship.
Also, this has nothing to do with movies, but join Collider Sports because I'm an admin.
Sports.
I don't really do anything, but join it anyway.
Yeah, and surprisingly enough, this wasn't a KO or a TKO. Which was it a TKO?
I think it was, yeah.
Shit, I have to check this now. But still, like, again, we're talking about like you expected a lot from these people. One person who was in a championship contention twice with Inner Geekdom, or no, he was close. Inner Geekdom and singles, and one who I think he got very close with DC Movie News. I don't remember entirely.
I think he might have gone out in the second round, maybe.
Yeah, that's what happened with DC Movie News. You just don't fucking remember them until Action beat them and got this whole thing going on. It looks like it's a TKO. So good on them, but that's still not as good as everyone said they would be. Because again, I've seen people who are putting them all the way to the final just because of Chance Ellison.
Oh wait, no, not me. I think. See, my thing is, I'm buying into the hype of Chance Ellison, and I've had this discussion with Paul in our Action Room chat already. But I think Mike Kalinowski is severely underrated. I think he's above average. I don't think he's average. I just think
I remember that conversation, but if you look at the opponents he's beaten, he's really not that strong.
Yeah, I don't really want to get into it, but
yeah,
because I can argue this all, and but
like looking at Chance though. Again, we have friends who are in Full Metal Trivia, namely Paul Oyama and Emma, whose name last name I'm forgetting. And I've heard nothing but really, really high praise for them. I think he's actually undefeated in singles over there.
I don't think he's lost a match.
Yeah, no, he's gonna be fucking great. I can't wait to see what he does in the singles tournament. It just sucks that he's with a competitor who's been studying Just Geek movies for the past 3 months. So he's really, really behind in general trivia, which is sort of the reason he did so well in the tournament last year. Well,
Tom McAllister.
Yes, McAllister. Right. You want to move on to the next match?
Sure.
Oh shit! I am so smart. I forgot to pull it up. Evil Geniuses versus the Wildberries. And I'm going to go cry in a corner and grab a snack so you take over really quick.
Okay. So this was Lon Harris and JT versus the Wildberries, and this went about how I expected. I mean, I don't think anyone had Wildberries to win, except for James. James had them to win. But yeah, I mean, it was kind of predictable. Wildberries are always a good time.
Predictable, excuse you. I had very legitimate reason for them winning this match, and it sucks that they lost.
It does suck that they lost, but I mean, I didn't really expect them to win against Lon Harris and JT. Lon Harris, who's super knowledgeable, and JT who's a former team champion, so he clearly knows how to play the game. And so yeah, I mean, I didn't think they were going to win, but it was good to have them for at least one match.
I will say I had Wildberries. They wouldn't win the next match, no matter what. No matter who they're going against, they wouldn't have won. But
yeah,
I think in the first round, they had a decent chance to beat a few of the teams because they had that inherent chemistry. They know their strengths and weaknesses. They know how to work with each other. That is really underrated in terms of competitors.
But the thing is, they have the same strengths and weaknesses. So it could
They
either
still know how to work with each other. Meanwhile, JT and Lon Harris fucking work with each other every day.
yeah.
They have literal years of chemistry from just being good friends on the job. If they didn't know each other so well, they may have lost. Maybe, doubtfully, but maybe.
I think Lon Harris has got a new partner who he knows better than anyone really in the tournament. So the chemistry there is going to be there.
Do we know anything about his brother? Oh, by the way,
name.
Prefacing this, for those who don't know, JTE will be out of the tournament, both teams and singles, because of the unfortunate car accident we mentioned last week, or 2 weeks ago now. And Lon's new partner will be forming the Super Harris brothers. His partner is Jonathan Harris, his brother.
That's his name.
Yeah. Do we know anything? Like,
I just learned his name 2 seconds ago, so I don't know anything.
Does he have a history? Does he have, like, even just watching matches? Does he exist prior to today?
Yeah, I think Biz mentioned that he went to film school with him, so he has some knowledge.
The fuck, really?
Oh, you didn't know?
No.
Yeah, they went to film school together.
Damn.
So yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to new competitors, and hopefully he'll be good because I mean, Lon deserves to have a good partner. I think.
And you know who deserves the win? The Wildberries. And they fucking lost.
Well, I mean,
I say as an admin of their page, they deserve to win.
look, I love the Wildberries as much as the next guy, but win or lose, they're still one of the fan favorites. Though they're gonna have a lot of matches in the future. So,
yeah. And I do want to plug really quick before we get into the next match. Madeleines are the fucking best. They're little bites of heaven. I have a box of like 40, and I've eaten 10 of them in the past day.
wow.
I have a pretty serious sugar addiction already, but these are so good. Yeah. And then I don't think anything about this match is remarkable other than Wildberries lost because not many of us thought they were going to win. At least not sincerely. A lot of us were like, oh, Wildberries. Da, da, da. I was the only person who thought they had a fighting chance, at least to my knowledge.
Yeah.
So it's not like we're going to go about defending them saying, oh, they needed, like, if it was a better day, whatever, because they don't have the best record, just flat out. And everyone knows, like, they would have lost.
Yeah. Can I just also add that I love who's that other guy from UTC?
Oh,
Tour partner. Haybird. I love them. I love him with them. I think it's a perfect trio.
Do you watch a lot of Internet Today, which is their new show? Check out the channel; it's amazing.
I'll check it out, but I haven't seen much.
It's because it's funny over there. Ricky's the more loud and out there person. Elliot's like quieter and throws in a jab every now and then. The fact that he's on the Wildberries and not Ricky really surprises me. Yeah. But I'm glad that he's on there and not Ricky because I don't want a competitor who gets fucking 5 points in the entire game to be the partner.
I mean, 5 points for Ricky.
There's been multiple tournaments.
Yeah. I mean, I think Ricky's really well suited to be a manager. And that's
he's a perfect manager. Speaking of managers, one of my favorite people is a manager. And the next team we see is the first match of round 2. It's the Odd Couple versus the Paddington 2. Since you're a big fan of the Patriots, what do you think of this?
Yeah, I love the Patriots. Well, I was rooting for the Paddington 2, but I just think that Snyder and Andrejko work really well together as a team. I just don't dig their vibe together. I think they're like how earlier we said that who were
Nos and Bibiani.
Their personalities are so different, but it works. I just think that Snyder and Andrejko, their personalities don't really mesh well, and I don't know what it is. It just doesn't for me. So
I think they have the possibility to. I think they have a very sincere chance of making a good dynamic. However, I think like Draco could very easily go silly. I could see him like if he was with Bibiani, he would be full into those entrances. I never thought of Snyder as the type of guy who would dress up and do the whole dance routine.
Kind of weird to me, to be honest.
It almost feels uncomfortable just because of like the stuff that's conspired recently.
Yeah, but I mean, even without that, it's still just a little bit cringe.
Yeah.
And I hope you guys hear this and attack me on Twitter. But yeah, I just
He's going to call the FBI on you.
Yeah, no one show him this, please.
I mean,
but yeah, I mean,
throw me on the fire, man. Apparently, I hate women. I hate Mexicans, and I can hate the Jews as well. Just stack up the other racial issues.
We're canceled.
We've been canceled, man.
You just keep coming back.
Actually, it did give way to like probably my favorite quote of the entire Schmodown so far, which is "I'm a nice guy," and then everyone else laughed.
Oh man.
But
I think this was an enjoyable match. It was good. I think it was close, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I think Chance had a chance to win, and I really hope we see more of Paddington too, because
I think this only is subservient to the finale or the final question of the In-Minute and Knopfik match. This may have been like the hardest 5-pointer ever.
Yeah,
because like in general, you like even just like name say 5 film or 5 directors who won the best director Oscar for their first film. That's hard enough as it is, but to ask the last one is crazy. Fuck, I was thinking like, oh yeah, Barry Jenkins, even though he didn't win and lost to Damien Chazelle and he had previous movies before, and you're just going back year by year, not only recalling who won best director that year, but their previous films. I'm surprised they only got fucking 10 seconds each. That like, if I was writing questions, that'd be 30 seconds apiece. The fact that
it was super impressive that they got it. So you can't say they don't deserve to win.
Yeah, not to mention, if they missed that question, which I would like, no one would have said they were at fault for. They would have gone to sudden death with Duralde and Ashley. Duralde, who I think got like 7 points in that round, which he was really good, and Ashley, who had a championship shot before.
Yeah,
I think Snyder doesn't hold up well on straight knowledge.
I think Ashley's really knowledgeable. I think he has 2 big problems. One where he doesn't focus enough, where we saw that cost him the match against the Patriots. Yeah. And number 2, I don't think he really knows how the game works, even though he's been in a bunch of matches. Like, if he just like watched some game tape and just brushed up on the game and just took it really more seriously, I think he can be a force.
Well, I mean, okay, let's look at it like this. He was the creator of Rotten Tomatoes, and then he went on to be I think he went to like IGN after that, which is when they changed their name to MODOK.
Yeah.
And now he's the acting director of MoviePass. This man's really fucking busy.
That's what I was thinking of. Yeah. So he's been busy.
So I can't, like, this man is living his best life, wearing a Hawaiian shirt and a Santa hat, like the most basic fucking white trailer trash there is.
I love it.
He is living his best life.
Also, I'm really glad that they added a holiday movie, Slice on the Wheel.
It's been there.
So, for this match.
Well, I'm okay. You're not a action patron, are you? I forget.
No.
Okay, yeah. Because everyone was like, I didn't know they could pick slices backstage. And I was like, they showed it in the BTS, and Andrew and Ben talked about it all the time.
Yeah, no, I knew that.
Yeah. So did they not have it in the last one?
I don't think so.
Oh. Well, because I know whenever I got that on the MTS mobile app, I would lose every single time because I sucked at it, and it's always like, John Carpenter directed what holiday film in 1978? It's like, John Carpenter directed a Christmas film, and so it starts fucking with you.
Yeah,
But
I mean it's a
I
very
guess,
specific set of
yeah,
knowledge, and I think only Duralde could have
yeah.
done that well in it.
And as much as I love MODOK, mostly because of Gray Drake, and she's a fucking sweetheart, I really hope the Paddington 2 come back, because the fact that they took a former team champion and a near singles champion, pretty much a sudden death. They like, especially Duralde, he is incredible. They need to play more.
I just really want Duralde. I want him in singles. I want him in everything.
It's like, I think Duralde is like on the verge of being a McQueenie, because I feel like he doesn't have a strong enough personality, and that's what I like. Like, as we know, I just love heels. That's partially the reason why. But I feel like he needs to establish himself more as a personality rather than just like, I like talking about movies and I like winning.
Yeah,
Like, I don't know, maybe if he embraced his Christmas side, I don't know. Like,
I
comes
think
out in like a. I'm
I think
thinking
he
it'd
has
be
like
funny if he came out as like Santa Claus every match and was like, ho ho ho, I'm gonna whoop your ass, son. Have a lump of coal or something like that.
on the naughty list.
It's like,
I'm a cool
it's like, normally I would give you one present, but you're getting the whole stack today. Gah! And it turns into a cage match.
How awesome would that be? I would love that.
I didn't want to turn into fucking wrestling at this point, man. Just Andrew Guy coming out like, I came back from prison, bitch. And then there's fucking Alonso Duralde just like, I don't believe in fighting. I'm gonna whoop your ass and use my elves to help you. And then, I was watching the trial of JTE recently, and all the Wangers came out in like unitards and were jumping around like Josh McCougar's Merry Men. I like to the Wangers come out with Alonso Duralde as their elves, as his elves, in like little green suits and little green outfits, just walking on their knees.
Genius. But yeah, I mean, the reason I watched SmackDown isn't because of the TV trivia. It's because of the theatrics and the spectacle. So, I mean, I like my competitors to embrace that. And I think Duralde could do it. I think he has a little bit more personality than McQueenie.
Yeah, I think Duralde absolutely could if he was paired with the right person.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I know I just said that they're the perfect match, but I think he would work really well with Brianne Chandler.
Yeah? Brianne with anyone work.
I mean, I wouldn't mind, like, Brianne working with myself, because I think we're probably about the same level of movie knowledge. So I think I'm not as good as Stacey Howard, so I wouldn't say we're on the level of 6 degrees, probably like pretty close below it. But actually, okay, I think that'd be fun to bring back a variety segment. Like, who would our best partner be? Like, dig into the stats and shit. That'd be fun.
Drew McQueenie.
you can't fucking. It's like you go up to like you're seeing a cow. And it's like, which part do you want? I want the prime rib. Like, no, you wait in line. Let everyone else pick the fucking ribs first, and then you get the prime rib.
I think he complements my strengths and weaknesses really well, because I don't know.
Have any strengths and you're all weaknesses.
Yeah, it's a good.
Oh, actually, I think Mark Riley would probably could be a good thing, because my biggest weakness is horror. Or even God, what's her name? Haley Fouch. Although she's a lot more subdued, and I need someone loud and obnoxious like me. Then again, who else is good in dance movies? I think that's it. Do you, we can talk about the singles tournament now.
Sure.
Yeah. I believe, unless I'm mistaken, as I pull it up really slowly, I think all of the matches are confirmed.
Are they?
I think so. Oh yeah, because you're not a patron, because you don't see that.
Yeah.
So,
but I've seen
Christian, don't ban me. I'm not sure if you're breaking the rules, but this is a podcast, so get off my ass. I'm going to cover this. On Patreon, he announced. Yeah. Here, so all of the matches are up currently. This is actually going to require some digging. For the qualifiers, we have Lon Harris versus Josh McCouga, and Ben Bateman versus Janine the Machine.
Oh, so it's 4-way?
Yeah, just to get into the tournament, because Chance got the magic ticket, which is why he's facing Ethan Irwin.
And the winner of that is Jason Clark Wolf, right?
Yes. And then the other two matches we have are Dan Murrell versus Stacey Howard for like a rematch a bit from the live event, which would be fun.
Yeah.
And Mark Andreyko versus Drew McWeeny. I could see a lot of upsets going down right now. Like Ethan Irwin versus Chance is probably gonna be the closest first round match, unless
That's insane that he has to face Ethan Irwin in his first.
yeah, it's fucked up. I think it's crazier to me. Just like I think on paper, if I'm understanding this correctly, that would make Ethan Irwin the number 2 contender. That is bullshit.
It is bullshit. It's mind blowing.
Because okay, just the way it's worked, like it's basically worked out. That would mean Clark Wolf is the number 1 contender. Which did someone just score a touchdown?
Yeah.
Because Clark Wolf is going against the Gauntlet Win, which would be the number 8 contender. Which that's bullshit. She hasn't competed since the more or less given title shot in like March or April.
Mm-hmm.
And Andreyko, who actually is the number 1 contender, is going up against McWeeny, who lost his last match against Irwin, I think. Yeah, he was the second person. This matchup was all kind of fucked up.
Super fucked.
Yeah, but I think Andreyko easily beats McWeeny because as we've seen, he's not very consistent or strong on his own.
I don't know about easily, but yeah, I think I have Andreyko in that match.
Yeah. And Clark Wolf versus the Gauntlet winner. That's going to be. I hate to say it, but it's going to be Lon versus Ben.
Mm-hmm.
Lon might have it, sadly.
I don't know if I agree with that, but
I want Ben to win so badly. I want him to get the fucking belt. But Lon literally took Irwin to the last question.
Yeah,
and Irwin has probably one of the highest percentage accuracy rates of all singles competitors.
He's also had a really close match with Cody. So, yeah. I mean, I think obviously I'm super biased here.
I think without a doubt, Lon and Ben are the two like going to be facing off for the number 8 spot.
Yeah, no question.
Yeah, and whoever wins, I think, has a solid chance at beating Clark, because she's been out of the game since the title shot against Sick in the Head. Not a lot of ring rust, so I don't think it's been a big issue, but I think big enough to the point they have a slight advantage, as well as both of them being in the team tournaments.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't think but there's still some enough that it could play a factor.
Yeah. And interestingly enough, I think Stacey could beat Dan Murrell.
Really?
Yes, because she did better in the first round than he did at the live event.
Mm-hmm.
And on top of that, we saw how badly he played against Andrew. Yeah, especially if Dan somehow loses to Corruption. Stacey, I think, has it in the bag. Now, if they beat Corruption, it's a very serious chance that she's going to lose. But if Founding Fathers lose, I think Stacey has a massive in what's what I'm looking for, with an asterisk, massive being bigger than you'd expect, chance to beat Dan Murrell.
Yeah. Here's my thing. I think Stacey has the potential to beat anyone, but Dan Murrell, I don't think it's a good chance. I think if the Dan Murrell that showed up to face Andrew Guy shows up, then she probably wins that match. But Dan will have a couple matches since then to build up the experience or whatever. I think Dan wins his match. Honestly. I
don't know what the polite word for it, but she's probably the most inconsistent player because she can beat not Clark. Who'd she beat? She can beat Mark Ellis, or she can get KO'd with 3 points to Rachel Cushing.
Mm-hmm. She's super unbelievable. You can't really count for her.
It really comes down to the round 2. I think she can absolutely decimate the first round, but it matters what she spins for her to do well.
Yeah.
Round 2 is if she gets dance movies, rom-coms, or Disney, she's got it locked, guaranteed. But that's the issue because Dan is really solid in the second round, as we've seen. He was apparently batting pretty equally with Roka at the live show.
Mhm.
So it really comes down to how he does in the first round, because that's been his weakness so far.
It's really hard to trust Dan Merle these days.
Yeah,
How-
because of the hashtag ring rust, you can't really predict anything from them. The fact that Riley did as good as he did is surprising to me. I mean, with Ben, not just in this match against Andrew.
Mhm.
And then
Yeah.
Ethan Irwin versus Chance Ellison, which is a little, it's a little surprising that that's happening, mostly because it's a 3-1 against a
Oh no.
3-1 or 2-1. I think, yeah, it's a 2-1 competitor. Wait, no, shit.
It might be
Yeah,
3-1.
because Irwin beat whatever her name is.
Alana Machado.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Drew McWeeny, and then Lon Harris.
Yeah, so 3-1.
Yeah, a 3-1 competitor against a newbie, purely from the fan leagues. I think it's like that's the biggest sign that people need to get more active. I'm trying to get active, because to me right now, because what Christian's trying to do is make the fans an integral part of the showdown. Chance is it, and no matter how he does, unless he gets fucking KO'd like Stacy and Rachel, he could change the league in terms of fan involvement.
Yeah. This is a really important match for the fans.
Yeah, on top of that, like getting Rachel Silvestrini more matches, getting Paul Oyama matches, because he's really fucking good. Maybe on Chance's level. I don't know. I don't watch a lot of matches.
He's super knowledgeable from conversations we've had.
And isn't his team undefeated as well?
That sounds right. I know he's the champion. He's the team.
Yeah, he is the team champion. I know that. I'm just not sure if he's undefeated. But still, if Chance does well, that could change everything.
Open the doors. Yeah, I think this is the match I'm looking forward to the most, honestly, because I honestly can't predict it. Because we haven't seen Chance in that many matches. You've seen him in one match. He did really well.
And he got 6 points in the first round, which is still remarkable. And his round 2 could have been better, but he's also with Mike, who wasn't really picking up the slack.
Yeah. I mean, Ethan Irwin can get 7 points in the first round in the sleep, too.
Yeah.
So
as we saw in their match, Irwin didn't do very well in the second round either.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I can't call this match.
Yeah. Funnily enough, I think the only match I'm really confident in saying is the guaranteed my turnout is Andreyko versus McWeeny. I don't think McWeeny's going to win. Other than that, the other 3 matches, it all comes down to round 2.
Mm-hmm.
I think the round 1s are pretty much equal across the board. Only question I would say is Ben and Clark, because I know Ben is really solid in round 2 more than he is in round 1.
Yeah.
But everyone else, round 2 is what makes the game for all of these matches.
Absolutely. Unless you're Viviani.
So Patreon slices, don't fuck over Ben Bateman. And on that note, I think we're good for this episode, unless you want to add anything else.
I'm good.
Great. So where can people find you on the internet?
You can find me on facebook.com/MissMarvel13. Yeah, that's it.
We need to get you more active on Twitter, man. Because I'm going to be carrying all this slack. You can find me on Twitter at Temecula Film Guy. That is at TEMECULA Film Guy. You can also find me on Instagram at JamesSpence_99. And also don't forget, you can follow Ben and Andrew on Twitter. Ben Bateman is at Ben Bateman Media. Andrew Guy at Andrew Guy. Follow our show on Twitter at Call to Action Podcast, or Call to Action Show. Actually, no, shit. Look this up before I send people the wrong way. You can find Team Action at Action Art at Action Movie Anatomy. No, shit. Oh, I'm ruining this bit. Fuck. You can find them at Team Action Show, where they tweet about Action Movie Anatomy and Team Action. You can do a lot of things, like join their Patreon, where they post a lot of content. Probably the best thing you want to stay there for is the drunk impersonations.
I'm definitely becoming a fan for that.
Oh, it is worth it, man. I was showing a friend of mine who absolutely loves Magnolia. Have you seen Magnolia?
Oh, Tom Cruise and Philip
Yeah.
Seymour Hoffman. Yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah, the whole respect the cock monologue.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think he did it in John Lithgow's voice, and it is amazing. Yes, you can find us at Call to Action Pod. I'm sorry if I forgot a bunch of links. Again, I am very ill prepared because literally at midnight tonight, I am recording a special review with some very high profile guests and hopefully Nat too if he's awake then.
Maybe.
Just keep an eye out for that later this week. Sorry for being so ill prepared. We will kick ass next week when Ben is competing again. See you guys next week.
Yeah.